Morning, everyone. Today is July 31st, and I have a lot of videos that I'm going to try and get to today. I'm going to try and give you a second summer update in the Jedi review, and I'm going to try to get to some other health topics and various topics that come to mind. I should do another video with an update on the Hidden Destinations Kentucky. And in 1 week, mark it, I will be on Catherine's channel again for the Velikovsky Conundrum. So there'll be part 3 of the Electric Universe series. And if you haven't watched the first two, you probably should, or it won't make a whole lot of sense. But I guess theoretically, one could argue you could watch this video first, or this interview first, and then watch the other two. So there's a possibility for all of them. Either way, 7 p.m. Monday. Look for that on Facebook Live, and I think she's still doing, what is that, Instagram maybe? I don't know. I don't follow any other social media than YouTube and Facebook. Who has time for all that? Speaking of time, so today's subject is vacationing. And as some of you know, I am doing this Hidden Destinations in Kentucky map. Despite the fact that I've been to over 500, I want you to look at what's left on my to-do list. That's the front side. These are all columns. That's the back side. Now, I did some this weekend, so I'll be eliminating. But then I came home and added, I don't know, another 12 or so to the map. So it's a thing where it proves my point about reality mining. The more you dig in, the more appears right in front of you, and the more you realize that you didn't really know before. But as regards vacationing, it was an interesting journey because it wasn't that big a journey. It wasn't about the size of the journey. We only went from Lexington over to just south of Louisville, like Radcliffe area, and then on up to, we only made it south of Covington, and then we came back down. But it was 2 solid days of seeing stuff back to back to back. Now, I have little kids, so a lot of time is lost in little things, gas station, etc. But even still, we've grown up in the era, you, me, all of us, no matter, even if you're 80 years old, okay, you've grown up in the era of the interstate, which killed, of course, Route 66 and has killed tons of small towns. And why? Because we've been brought up with the belief that it's only worth doing if it's got a big name. If it's a Vegas or Paris or Orlando, Florida, or New York City, then it's worth going to. Other than that, apparently it's not worth doing. And I'm here to tell you the quality of the experience is determined by you. It's determined by what are you thinking and feeling while you're vacationing. Are you getting out of your head and getting out of the mode of your problems? Because you can feel just as far away. As long as you get outside your 40-mile radius of where you live, you can feel far away from all of your problems. I mean, there were several times during the trip where it just really didn't even feel like I was in Kentucky. And I never even left the state. And that has more to do with consciousness than anything. I mean, we found all sorts of things. Found a fantastic scandal, the Glen Mary neighborhood, and there's a pool there that's like in ruins, and there's a neighborhood, and there's a lawsuit, and $2 million, and there's a waterfall this all was built around, and and then found another waterfall that was unbelievably tall. It was an unexpected 60-foot waterfall. It was tall enough that they had a fence in front of it. And, you add up enough of these events, and the quality of your vacation, or your staycation, if you want to call it a staycation, because I didn't leave the state, it goes up remarkably. And let's say you didn't want to drive the whole time. Well, you take a map like mine, or maybe you make your own, wherever you are, and you build the area around you. You are going to save not only a ton of money, but you can get out of and get out of the cabin fever and have just as much quality. I had my family with me, so I had high quality, and I met people just the same, talked to people just the same. Yeah, sure, they're Kentuckians, so they're not, I'm not getting anything exotic out of it, but they're such different places than what I'm used to seeing and where I'm used to going that I don't know. I mean, I obviously want to go to, out of town. I just went to Canada last winter, but I am just of the opinion that we have been led to believe that we have to rush to somewhere to get away from all, and then rush back, and then we're usually just as tired when we get back as when we left. What was the point of going to Florida or Myrtle Beach, Hawaii, if when you're done, you just go right back to the grind and you don't remember the feeling that you had when you were gone? That's my point. So don't buy into this idea that you can't vacation in your area, in your state, or if you're Kentuckian, which this video is mostly for Kentuckians, that you can't just enjoy what's around you, that this state doesn't have anything to offer. It does. Every place has a lot to offer. I'm obviously very proud of Kentucky because of all the things that I've found. But that doesn't mean, though, that, if you're from Alabama or Kansas, heck, Kansas, you drive along the I-70, they got a brown sign all over the place because there are things to do and see there. There are waterfalls there. There are things. You zoom in on Google Maps or Google Satellite, Google Earth, and you will see, when you know how to look for it, all sorts of wonders. And I bet there's even arches in Kansas. As flat as we all think of Kansas as being, I bet that there are arches in Kansas. I know Nebraska's got some really fantastic, land in the western part, where, the terrain is changing enough. There's going to be hidden things there. It's about your mind getting into the mode of what you're enjoying, what you're doing. Anyways, that's my opinion. And go forth. Don't stay at home. I find the memes funny on Facebook about, the real house, real bed, AC. But the truth is that if you do that, your body's going to become toxic inside. We were meant to forage, to run, to hunt, to do. So get out there and go do. All right, I will see you in the next video.